Alright, I'm going to make this video about pan tilt, multiple cameras, running two cameras, HD camera and a FPV video camera, and kind of the pros and cons, I guess. So bear with me if you can. This is my old Skywalker. It's pretty beaten and tattered. It's been on a few high danger missions, as you can tell. But basically when I started out, it wasn't with this airplane, but it was with a similar airplane and a similar setup. So what I had is a pan tilt system similar to this, not this particular one, and a similar camera. And it was on the toggles on the side of my Aurora 9, so I could pan and tilt with the toggles, no head tracking, and it worked fine. I could adjust the camera to whatever I wanted. I could swing it from side to side and look around. For HD video, I use this, which is a Sony webbie. They're cheap. You can get them on like eBay for 50 to 100 bucks usually for a used one, and they work great for somebody who wants HD video. It's not a wide angle like a GoPro, but it still looks pretty decent, and it's cheap for people that don't want to spend the money or can't afford the money of a more expensive HD camera. So they work just fine. Now, like I said, I stuck mine up on the wing up here, and that was my HD video, and this was what I viewed FPV through. Now, down the road a few months, I decided to get a video switch that worked off my my transmitter, and I could toggle between videos. So I could use this as my FPV video camera. I could use this, or I could go back and forth. The reason I used that was if there was a particular thing in the scenery, in my flight that I wanted in the video, I could switch to this and I could frame up on it and get the exact shot that I wanted as I was flying around. So it's not important. I guess it's a redundancy if you want it. Problem with using the Sony webbie as an FPV video camera, I think it shuts off after that's a period of time. I don't remember exactly what it is, but it will shut off on you, so it's not great. For video, I think it'll go for like 20 minutes of video or something, 20-25 minutes, so it's fine for an FPV flight. But for your FPV camera that you're viewing, I wouldn't just go with the webbie. With the GoPro now, you can use a GoPro, and I've used it on my tricopter, and it works fine. I'm convinced that it's all I need on there. Can you use it on an airplane with pan tilt and head tracking? Yeah, you can, but you're going to have it up here, either in the case or not. I mean, if you don't have it in a case, all it takes is one minor crash and your GoPro's finished. So I can't afford to take that chance with it. So I leave mine in the case and take the weight penalty. So if you mount this up on some kind of a gimbal, it's up pretty high. It's got a heck of a lot of weight and wind drag. So for me, I mean, some people might want it. I don't find the pan tilt that important to me. So when I switch this over to my GoPro, I think I'm just going to mount it without the pan tilt. To be quite honest with you, I'm just going to mount it in its place like that, and I will pull video off of it. I may mount this somewhere else on the airplane, possibly above it or or down really low in front of it or something as a secondary camera, because again, this has a battery in it. If this battery goes dead while you're in the middle of an FPV mission, you're done. If you don't have a return to home system, you're going to crash. You got no video anymore. So for the tricopter or the quadcopter, I mean, it's only got, you know, from 6 to 11 minutes flight time, depending on weight and weather and stuff. It's pretty safe, I guess. But on this, where you can get, you know, half an hour, anywhere between 25 and 35 minutes flying around. Yeah, the battery should be fine and everything, but it's just, I'm not going to risk it all on the GoPro. I'm going to run a second camera with a switching unit on it as a backup. Do you need head tracking as a beginner? You can buy the equipment that has that option, but I don't think you should install head tracking right off the start, because as it is, there's a lot of stuff going on, and the simpler that you keep your FPV experience when you're starting out, I think the happier you're going to be, because when you get an OSD on-screen display that has a ton of information, plus you've got your head tracking going on and all the other things, there's just a lot of stuff going on at one time, and it can be really confusing. So try to keep it as simple as possible. Don't buy cheap equipment and then replace it with better equipment. Buy good equipment, but stuff that you can build on, so that you can start out at the beginning and slowly add to get it to where you want. That's my opinion. Start out with good equipment. Don't buy cheap junk, because you're just going to replace it. And for this camera up here, spend a little bit of money, between $60 and $100 kind of range, just for this camera. Get like a 2.8 millimeter lens on it. That'll give you a little wider angle, and that works really well. And whatever, if you want to go to 900 megahertz, or if you want to go to 2.4, 5.8, or some of the others, that's up to you. Don't go too high of milliwatt power, because it's better to run a patch antenna than it is to run too high a milliwatt power, because that can start affecting things like GPS and your range of your transmitter and all kinds of things. So anyways, I've rambled on here long enough. That's it.